Let me tell you something that sounds a bit rude, but it might just save your future. If you have a plan, a real, genuine plan, don't tell anyone. Not your friends, not your family, not even the people who claim they support you. Because most dreams don't die from failure, they die from conversation. Let me explain. We're always told the opposite, right? Share your goals, speak it into existence, tell people so they can keep you accountable. It sounds healthy, mature, and responsible. But here is the truth that nobody really likes to admit. Most people don't actually want you to win. They just want you to stay relatable. And the moment you say your plan out loud, you invite opinions from people who have never even tried to do what you're trying to do. And that's where things start to go wrong. Here's something wild. When you talk about your plan, your brain gets a dopamine hit. It's the same chemical you get when you actually make progress. So your brain can hard tell the difference between doing the work and just talking about the work. That's why after you tell everyone your big, amazing idea, you feel super motivated for maybe a day. And then nothing, because you already got the reward without ever paying the price. Talking replaces doing. Let me tell you a real story. There was a guy, regular background, nothing fancy, who wanted to build something on the side. Not for clout, not for Instagram, just something meaningful for himself. At first, he kept it completely quiet. He worked late nights, he learned new skills, he failed, and he learned again. Then one day he got really excited. He started telling people, "Yeah, I'm working on something big. I'm building this project. I think it could really work." And that's when it started. One friend laughed it off. Another said, "Wow, that's risky." Someone else commented, "People like us don't really do that." Nobody was being evil. Nobody was trying to be mean. But every single comment added a little bit of weight. He started explaining himself more, defending his idea, and slowly he started doubting himself. Eventually he stopped working on it. Not because he failed, but because he listened. Years later, someone else built the exact same idea, and it worked. That kind of pain, that hurts in a very specific way. Here's the part that most people miss. When you share your plan, people don't respond based on your potential. They respond based on their limitations. If they're scared, they'll call your idea unrealistic. If they failed at something similar before, they'll call it dangerous. If they never even tried, they'll call it stupid. It's not personal against you, but it is destructive to your dream. Even the most supportive people can accidentally mess things up. They'll say things like, "Just make sure you have a backup plan," or "Don't put all your energy into this one thing," or my favorite, "Be realistic." It all sounds so caring, right? But what they're really saying is, don't change too much. Because your growth, your ambition, reminds them of the chances they didn't take. Silence is powerful. When you don't talk about your plan, you move faster. You think clearer. You stop having to explain yourself. You stop asking for permission. You build without the pressure of an audience. You fail privately, where you can learn without judgment. You improve without anyone watching. And then, when the results finally show up, people call it overnight success. They never see the years of silence. There's a famous example of this. Before he was known, before the success, he didn't talk much. He just worked, he learned, he stayed quiet. The people around him actually thought he was behind in life. Years later, when everything finally clicked, those same people said, "I always knew you'd make it." No, they didn't. They just had no idea what you were building in the shadows. When you share your plan publicly, you attract one very dangerous thing: advice you didn't ask for. And advice is cheap. Everyone has advice. But very few people have results. The loudest opinions usually come from the least experienced people. Silence filters all of that noise out. Pay attention to people who are actually winning. They don't talk much while they're building. They let their outcomes do the talking. They don't announce every single move they make. They just execute. Because they understand something simple. Energy is limited. Every explanation you give drains it. Every argument you get into wastes it. Every doubt that's planted in your mind multiplies. Silence protects your energy. Now let me be clear. You shouldn't share your plan with dream killers, casual talkers, people who love to gossip, or people who have never built anything themselves. But there are exceptions. You can share your plan with a mentor who has already done what you want to do. You can share it with a partner who is building it right there with you. You can share it with someone who directly benefits from your success. That's it. Everyone else gets results, not previews. There was a woman who kept announcing her goals every single year. New year, new plan. But it was always the same outcome. One year, she just stopped talking. No social media posts, no long explanations to friends, no updates. She just worked. Months later, people started to notice something different about her. She wasn't stressed. She wasn't asking for validation. She was moving with a quiet confidence. By the time people finally asked what she was working on, it was already done. That is power. A plan is like a seed. If you keep digging it up every week to check on it and show it to people, it dies. Early ideas need protection, time, and silence, not opinions. Let's be honest. Most of us don't need accountability partners. We just need to stop quitting. Telling someone your plan doesn't make you serious. Doing it when nobody is watching, that's what makes you serious. People will ask, "So, what are you working on?" You don't owe anyone the details. You can just say things like, "Just focused on improving myself," or "I'm working on something personal," or the best one, "I'll share it when it's ready." That's not being secretive. That's being strategic. Talk after the work is done. Talk after the habit is built. Talk after the results exist. Talk after the foundation is so solid that no opinion can shake it. Because at that point, opinions don't matter. Your plan doesn't need applause. It needs execution. Your dream doesn't need validation. It needs consistency. Move quietly. Work deeply. Let your results introduce you. And remember this. People who talk a lot about their goals usually end up explaining why they didn't reach them. The people who stay silent, they don't have to explain. They just arrive. Now go build.